Hola, hola, hola. Hello, 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 my beautiful planner babe divas. Welcome back to the channel. It's your girl here, Daniela, la planning diva. Whew, thank you so much for stopping by and spending some time with me here today. I really appreciate you. How are you? How have you been? How is life? Let me know. I hope things are wonderful. I hope you're happy. Hope you're healthy. Hope you're safe. I hope you've been living your best life, playing in your planners, stickering your heart out. Let your girl know. I'm pretty good. I'm still a little bit congested, still a little bit stuffy. It is currently July the 19th. It is Saturday morning, so you know it's a good time. Saturday mornings are my favorite times of the week. The weekend lies before us. Maximum peace, maximum rest. I have my cafecito, so you know I'm in a chatty mood. So good. And I'm very excited because today I have a grimoire video. I know. I keep on saying I'm going to do them. I don't do them. I have built up such a activation energy in my mind, such a barrier in my mind when it comes to my grimoire. I think I just feel like it needs to be perfect, and I'm kind of scared to work in it. I'm scared to make it messy. I'm scared to do something that doesn't live up to my full-fledged fantasy for my grimoire, but we're trying to work past that. And I'm very excited because I have a little bit of a different video for my grimoire. I think I've only ever shared astrological and lunar videos in my grimoire, and this is going to be my first crystal video. And it's not just any old crystal video. It's going to be a crystal video that discusses the crystals of my wand. Look at this baby right here. I'm so excited to share this baby with you. This has been a year in the making. So I made this. I put this baby together, and it is pretty much what I envisioned it to be. There is some slight differences. There's some imperfections to it. It probably is still a work in progress. I'll probably continue to rework her until I'm happy with her, but I feel like she's finally complete. She's ready enough to start casting some spells, doing some wand work. So I'm very, very excited about this. A little background, a little history about this beautiful, gorgeous wand. She needs a name, actually. I need to give her a name. Well, maybe it'll come to me by the end of the video. A little backstory about this wand. So I got inspired to make a wand because a crystal shop that I like going to in San Diego, down in Old Town San Diego, South American Imports, if you've been, iconic. They actually sell these smaller crystal wand type of things, and they're essentially kind of like a wood base, and then they have, I think, 7 small crystals on them. They're probably about half the size of this thing, and I think they have a clear quartz point at the end. And they're super, super cute, and I really, really wanted one. They're kind of pricey, though, not gonna lie. Not terribly priced, but a little bit pricey. And I really wanted one, but I also wanted one that was a little bit more custom to me, and that the crystals were a little bit more unique. The one that they had, they sold a particular type of wand. There was 10 wands, right? And they were all exactly the same. They had the exact same 7 crystals, each representing one of the chakras. And it was amethyst, carnelian, citrine, and just the same, 7 crystals across all the wands, pretty common crystals. And I got it into my head to make my own wand. And so that's where the idea was born. And then I started assembling this thing bit by bit. Let me go let Daisy in. She wants to come in. So the first thing I ended up getting was the wood. This is actually a branch from an oak tree that I picked up when I was backpacking in the San Bernardino Mountains. I forget the mountain range, but that massive mountain range above Riverside County here in Southern California. I was backpacking San Gorgonio. It was a 19-mile, 2-day backpacking trip. And I found this stick, and I was actually using it more like a staff, like a walking stick. And I carried it throughout the whole trip. And then I took it home with me. And then I figured, well, at first I kind of wanted to make a staff. And then I decided to make a wand instead. So I cut it down. I cut a part of it down, like the straightest part. So this was the straightest part of that stick. I cut it down. Stephen helped me. He actually helped me quite a bit with this thing because he dremeled. He cut it. He used a Dremel to like cut the branch to this size and this shape. And then once I had this piece, he then dremeled like little hollows where we could fit the crystals, and they're like custom hollows, so they fit the crystals exactly. So once I had the wand or the branch, I went to the crystal shop, the same crystal shop that I saw the first wand I got inspired by. I picked out 9 crystals, well 10. I picked out 10 crystals. I felt like 10 was a solid number, like something magical about it. I picked out 10 crystals, 9 like rounded tumbled stones, and then of course my massive rose quartz point at the end. I knew I wanted a massive rose quartz point at the end. Like I didn't want a clear crystal at the end. I wanted a beautiful piece of rose quartz because you all know that this is my heart, my soul. So I got this beautiful massive point there at the end, and then I got 9 tumbled stones, and I didn't really think about it too deeply. I just kind of went for the stones that really spoke to me and called to me in that moment. I did try to get some variety in terms of like colors and sizes and kind of finishes, and I also wanted to get stones that kind of spoke to each of the chakras. So I tried to get like some variety so that this was like a fully rounded, well-rounded wand. And so I ended up picking these 9 stones and the rose quartz point. I also picked up a bunch of like tiny little stones that I was thinking of adding kind of to the edges of it. I ended up not doing that because I felt like it was too much. There was too much stuff on it if I was going to add a bunch of smaller little crystals around. So I ended up just leaving it like that. And I really like how it looks. And then I wrapped it in copper wire to help with the transmission of the crystals, to amplify the energy of the crystals. I mean, copper itself is also another crystal, another mineral. And then I also added some leather like strapping at the end of the wand. This is probably my least favorite part of the wand because the leather strap was a little thicker than I wanted it to be. And so it kind of isn't the cleanest finish. There's also a natural bump in the wand itself, in the branch, that kind of caused it to not be super nicely aligned. Like you can see here, it's kind of nicely aligned. They all like kind of sit close to each other, but because there's that bump in the wand here, there's like a gap right there. And I glued everything down. So the crystals, the leather parts are all glued down, and so you can kind of see some of that glue coming out there, which isn't my favorite, but this is my first wand, so I'm happy, you know, that it came together, honestly. So I wrapped it all in copper wire. I added the leather parts here at the end for the handle and a little bit at the top there, because actually the crystal point base was wider than the tip of the wand, so it's kind of sticking out a little bit like the crystal point was. So adding that little piece of leather there kind of helped ground it and made it look not so funky. It also helped me not use as much copper wiring at the top there, because at first I was trying to fill in that massive gap with just copper wiring and it looked kind of bad. Yeah, and so that is the anatomy of the wand. And I have a bunch of crystals here. And so the 9 crystals that I chose were amethyst, lapis lazuli, malachite, carnelian, petrified wood, sunstone, citrine, blue lace agate, and rhodonite. And in today's Grimoire video, we're going to be mapping out all of those crystals in a spread here. And I'm going to write a little bit about each crystal. Some of these, like, I absolutely know, like, what these stand for and what they are, like rose quartz, carnelian, amethyst, lapis lazuli, but a couple of others I actually knew a little bit less about going into the making of this wand, but I just felt called to them in that particular moment, so I picked them up. So I want to learn more about them, and I've already started reading about all the different crystals with the Book of Stones textbook. This is by Robert Simmons and Naisha Asian. This is a chunky book. I've already bookmarked all of the crystals. I was reading them last night. So I'm going to set up a little spread here about my wand. And yeah, that's what I'm going to get to in my grimoire. So let's get started. Okay, I hope that's a good angle. Ooh, it's so small. I'm so used to working in my big planners that working in a classic is always like such a treat. It feels like I'm in a mini. So I'm going to put my wand up here so you can see her in all her glory. And let's get into my grimoire. So this is my grimoire. I kind of want to decorate this section here, but I might do that in a later video. And yeah, it's just my little grimoire here. I've worked a lot in like the astrology section and also a little bit in tarot as well, and in the moon magic section. Not as much as I want to, but I have some pages here and there. And I haven't worked at all in my crystal section here. So that's what we're going to do. That's what we're going to do today. And we're going to start off with, I might work here. Like I might work across 2 pages like this. So I might just like take these pages out. My grimoire is like one of the only places where I don't feel bad, like not going completely in order. Like I don't need to be writing, you know, page by page by page. Like for example, in my moon magic section, I have some pages, and then I have some blank pages, and then I have more blank pages, and then filled pages. Like it doesn't bother me to have it kind of like mixed and not super, you know, in order, because I'm trying my hardest to treat my grimoire as like I treat my lab notebook, which is just kind of like a place to experiment, a place to learn, a place to jot down notes for future reference, sort of somewhere in between a lab notebook and a recipe book. Honestly, that's kind of the approach I'm taking with my grimoire. Let me get some cafecito. So that's what I am doing. I think what I'm gonna do is, I was thinking of like sketching out the wand here with the different crystals and then doing like arrows with notes about each crystal. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. So I think I'll probably like fast forward this part, and then I'll come back when I'm ready to start like drawing the arrows and maybe coloring in the crystals. So let me just get the basic outline of the wand down first, and then I'll be back. Okay, I wanted to quickly stop here and show you the pencil sketch. So nothing perfect, but I wanted to just get it done and not worry about like it being absolutely perfect and beautiful. I kind of wanted this just to be kind of like a cartoon thing, like a figure representation, like a schematic. not like an actual like visual representation of the wand. So that is the wand. I tried to kind of make the crystals sort of similarly shaped to how they look in real life. This one's actually kind of more of a square now that I think about it, but I honestly am like not that worried about it. All right, something like that. Okay, so now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go in with a pen. Let's see, one of my microns. And I'm gonna outline it in pen, erase all the pencil markings, and then I'll probably start to color, and I'll probably use color pencils maybe to color the different crystals. So I'll go ahead and do that and come back when I'm done. Okay, divas, we're back, and I finished coloring, mapping out the wand. It turned out pretty cute, if I do say so myself. At first, I was a little bit over it. I was like not super happy with the crystals, and yeah, even now looking at it, it's not my finest work, but again, I'm just trying to get it done and not worry about being perfect. I actually liked how I set up the crystals like later on. Like I liked these more than these. I kind of was trying to like imitate the crystal exactly with these, and then with these I just kind of leaned into like the different colors and just kind of did like a representation of the crystal. I think later I'll go in with white paint and then add like a little bit of white paint on each crystal to kind of like magnify the fact that they're crystals and they have like shiny spots on them. But I'm happy with how this looks for now, and yeah, I'm very happy with it. So now what we're gonna do is now we're gonna start annotating using the Book of Stones. So what I'm imagining is kind of like a diagram where I have like little arrows like going out from each crystal and leading to a little bit of information. And I'm just going to do like a summary of each crystal and like the properties that stand out for me for that crystal, and also the properties that I kind of want to capture and focus on with this wand. So this Book of Stones is incredibly detailed. So let's, for example, go to citrine here. So it has some keywords, the element that it's associated with, the chakras it's associated with, a little bit about the science of the crystal and the history of the crystal. And then each author has like a paragraph to a couple of paragraphs on like the meaning of that stone. So there's a lot of information per crystal. That is definitely not going to fit all on this page. So again, I'm going to do a little summary, a little recap. And I think that's what I'm going to do. So I think what I'm going to start off with is I also kind of want to use like sticker letters to like, or maybe stamps to spell out anatomy of a wand at the top. Yeah, I might do that. Let me grab my stamps. So I have these stamps here. Let's pull these out. Yeah, let me stamp anatomy of a wand at the very top. So I'll go ahead and do that. Okay, we're back. That took another little while, but I love how it turned out. It's so cute. I love it. I'm very happy with my choice of letters, black ink. It takes a while because with stamps, obviously, you have to be pretty clean with it. Like, I don't know if you notice here, but whenever you use like stamps like this with the wooden block, sometimes the ink gets on the outside of the block, and so you see this little outline around the letters. And honestly, I think it adds to the whole aesthetic. I like that look, but I also think that it can get too much, so I have to like clean around the stamp block before I set it down. So it looks great. I'm actually in love with this. And let me go get my apothecary sticker book, actually. Oh, and then I have these crystal stickers that Rachel gave me. I'm gonna use those. I don't have a lot of room on these classic sized pages, so I definitely don't want to be putting too many stickers. So maybe what I'll do is I'll just use these, maybe 1 or 2 from the apothecary sticker book, and then the rest will be writing. So I'm gonna grab a pencil, and I think what I'll do is kind of like designate an area that I'm gonna write for each crystal. So we have 5 crystals on this page, 4 crystals on here. So maybe I can do like 3 down here, 2 up here. Oh, you know what? I have actually 6 because I have the rose quartz. So, okay, so 3 and 3, and then here 2 and 2. So let's go ahead and do that. Maybe I'll do something like this, and then like that, and then maybe I'll like alternate, so something like this. Okay, there we go. How cute is that? I love how it's giving like science textbook diagram. In case you haven't noticed, I am a blend of science, magic, and art, and it just bleeds through across disciplines. I've always felt too much of an artist for scientists. I felt too much of a scientist for artists, and I felt too much of a magician for both worlds. But that's just who I am. Okay, I really like how it's turning out. So I'm going to go ahead with a pen, and I might use like a thicker pen. Let's see. Yes, I have my Micron 5.50. So I'm going to go ahead and grab that. Gosh, I'm running out of room here. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and write out all of the different crystals, kind of underline things, and then I will start writing some notes down. So let's go ahead and do that. And I've been using this book as a kind of like a base, so I don't like write, you know, through the page and onto my tablecloth. And it's a little bit nicer to write on like a solid surface like this. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that. How fun is this? I love it. I love it. I am in love. So I'm going to go ahead, erase the pencil marks. Looks good. Looks good. I'm so happy with this, you guys. I am so happy. How fun is this? So we have all of the crystals: rose quartz, rhodonite, blue lace agate, citrine. Oh, sunstone. I had a brain fart. This is the only crystal that it made sense to kind of put the like once I have everything filled out, it'll be obvious that it's pointing sunstone, but this is the only one that the little line doesn't end right at the name of the stone. Petrified wood, carnelian, malachite, lapis lazuli, amethyst. So that is the anatomy of a wand. Okay, how cute is that? Let's add little stickers. I'm gonna add a little citrine right there, an amethyst right here. How cute is this? Maybe I'll put this like right here. Amethyst. Oh, oops. I put down the wrong one. I put calcite, and I should have put the citrine crystal there. I think those are the only ones. Oh no, I have rose quartz and carnelian. Yeah. So I have rose quartz here. Put that one there, and then carnelian can go here. Cute. I might even like cut off some of the names and just put down the crystal stickers because these are so cute. And I could like, you know, some of these look like they can be like lapis, or that's what I'm saying about when I was coloring the crystals in, like in the first couple of crystals, I was really caught up in the idea of them all looking exactly like the actual crystals. But, you know, I think the best crystal stickers are something like this, where it's clear that it's what color it is and that it's a crystal shape. And then you can kind of, you know, throw on whatever name onto that crystal. I kind of let go of like wanting it to look exactly like the crystal in these last couple of crystals. And I think they look a lot better. So I might just like cut off the names of these and then use these spread out throughout the spread here. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I think I'm just going to go in with a pen and then jot down some notes for each crystal. So I'll go ahead and fast forward that, and I'll come back when I'm done and walk you through just the major themes of each crystal and the elements they're associated with, the chakras they're associated with. So I'm going to go ahead and do that, starting off with rose quartz. And you know what actually might be a better idea? I might do this as a voiceover, so that way I can come back and we can just keep on going instead of me like sitting explaining to you. So I might just do this as a voiceover. So let's go. And for writing, I'm going to use my trusty Precise V5 Pilot rolling ball pen. These are probably my favorite pens to write with. So I'm gonna write with this pen, and then I'll probably just like use the book to support my writing. So let's start off with rose quartz. Okay, so I started off with rose quartz, which is the quintessential stone of love. It is about gentleness, emotional healing, uniting with the divine, and is very good at releasing stress. Rose quartz is definitely my favorite crystal. It's the reason why I wear pink all the time and surrounded by pink. It really forces me to think constantly about the role of love in this world. Rose quartz is associated with the element of water and the heart chakra. Next, I went on to blue lace agate, which is a stone of communication and clarity of one's highest truth. It builds confidence and loyalty. And for me personally, it makes me feel very calm. It feels like I'm floating on a blue cloud whenever I gaze on blue lace agate. This stone is associated with the element of water and the throat chakra. Next, I moved on to sunstone, which is a stone of leadership, benevolence, and strength. It promotes abundance and really allows you to come into your personal power and freedom, and also helps expand consciousness. Sunstone is associated with the element of fire and the sacral and solar plexus chakras. Next, I moved on to rhodonite, which is a stone of compassion and love towards others and altruism. It's also about discovering and developing hidden talents and generosity. And rhodonite is associated with the elements of fire and earth, as well as the root and heart chakras. Next, we have citrine, which is a stone that allows you to magnify powers of will and manifestation. It awakens creative imagination and increases clarity of thought. This is a stone associated with the element of fire, as well as the root, sacral, and solar plexus chakras. Next, I have petrified wood, which is a slow, steady, patient growth towards spiritual transformation and trust of the divine flow. It allows for a physical strengthening of the body and also allows you to tap into past life recall. It's associated with the element of earth and the root and third eye chakras. Moving on to the second half of the wand, I started off with carnelian, which is a stone of vitality. It brings an influx of life force, sexual and creative energies, courage, confidence, passion, action, assertive will, power, and encourages a zest for life. This crystal is associated with the element of fire, as well as the root, sacral, and solar plexus chakras. Next, I moved on to the stone malachite, which allows for this intense protection from negative energies. It also is very tuned into the heart, and so it allows a lot of heart healing and emotional regulation through that healing. It is also the stone of enlightened leadership through willpower. It allows you to refuse temptations, encourages confidence, responsibility, alignment with the divine without ego-based motivations. Malachite is associated with the element of fire, as well as the solar plexus and heart chakras. And then I moved on to lapis lazuli. Lapis lazuli is a crystal of inner visions and journeys. It promotes knowledge of self and allows resurrection of the divine within you. It's a stone of truthful communications and allows you to develop enhanced intuition, intellect, and visionary awareness. I feel like this is a very spiritual stone. It's associated with the element of wind, as well as the third eye and throat chakras. And the last stone that I journaled about was amethyst, beloved amethyst. I feel like this is the most popular stone of them all. And this is a stone of spiritual protection and purification. It allows for release from addictions and helps in meditation by stilling one's thoughts, and also allows access to higher states of consciousness. It keeps physical spaces clear and protects against psychic attack, and it's associated with the element of wind, as well as the third eye, crown, and etheric chakras. I also ended up adding the rest of the crystal stickers from that little sheet I had, because I figured it really didn't matter if there were other crystals besides the ones on my wand on the page, and they looked really cute. Okay, you guys, I'm back. I had so much fun putting that together. It looks so cute. I did add some of these stickers here, like I mentioned. I'm just going to go ahead and add the rest. I'm going to add one here, maybe. Maybe this blue one over here, and then this green jade one can probably go. I kind of want to add to like, let's go ahead and add that one there. It looks so good. Oh my goodness. And then I have these little gold circle stickers I can just sprinkle around everywhere. I might not even need to use my apothecary sticker book. We'll see. I think I'm pretty much out of room here. Okay, how cute is that with all the little dots? Adorable. I'm really liking how this is turning out. Okay, the last thing I'm going to do, you guys, is I'm going to use mild liners to highlight the different crystals, kind of corresponding to the color of the crystal. So rhodonite is going to be pink, rose quartz is going to be pink, blue lace agate, obviously blue, sunstone. I kind of want something peachy, maybe something like this. Sunstone, petrified wood, similar. Carnelian obviously is going to be orange. Malachite is going to be green. Let's use this one. Beautiful. Amethyst, obviously purple. And lapis lazuli is obviously going to be blue as well. Maybe a darker blue like this one. Like that. How adorable is that? It definitely looks like a science diagram. I love it. And then I'm going to use, similarly, I'm going to use some mild liners to highlight the chakras. So let's pull out some stuff here. So for example, I'm going to be using my red mild liner to highlight all of the fire stones. So we have a lot of fire in this wand because I have a lot of fire in my chart. So I'm obviously attracted to fire stones and the fire element. So let's see, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 of the 10 stones, 50% of them are associated with fire. So it's a half a fire wand. And then for water, let me see. Let me grab my blue. So let's see how many water stones I have. I have 1, 2. I just have 2 stones out of 10 are associated with water. My rose quartz and my blue lace agate. And then for earth, I'm going to use, let's see. I'm going to use maybe the brown. I have, let's see, 1, 2. I have 2 stones associated with earth, and then the last one is wind, and I will use maybe
purple for that one. I have 2 stones associated with wind. That's lapis and amethyst. So 5 stones associated with fire, 2 for earth, 2 for wind, and 2 for water. So 50% fire, and then the rest is evenly distributed across the elements. And then let's highlight the chakras as well, starting with the root chakra in red. So I have 1 stone, 2 stone, 3 stone, 4 stone, 4 stones associated with the root chakra. This wand is very fire and it's also very physical, I feel. There's a lot of stones associated with those bottom 3 chakras. So it's a very like physical, fiery, passionate, creative wand. That's the main elements of this wand, I feel. Although there's so many stones, there's definitely some stones that resonate with those upper chakras through the heart, the throat, the third eye, and the crown. So I'm definitely getting vibrational energy across all of the chakra centers, but I think it's really rooted in those bottom 3 chakras, which I love because I am a fiery, passionate diva. Okay, so moving on to sacral chakra, let's use orange. How many stones do I have associated with the sacral? So I have sunstone, citrine, carnelian, and that's it. So just 3 stones associated with the sacral. And then for the solar plexus, let's use yellow. So solar plexus in citrine, sunstone, carnelian. So really similar to the sacral chakra, because again, I feel like a lot of those stones associated with those lower 3 chakras are also kind of associated with fire. So we have 4 stones associated with the solar plexus chakra, which is like centers of creativity and will. So I really like that. Again, a lot of like this one is really good for manifesting, bringing things into the physical plane, creativity, sexuality, passion. Yeah, I love it. So that's a solar. I also feel like I have quite a bit of heart chakra. So I have rose quartz, rhodonite, and malachite. So I have 3 stones associated with the heart chakra. So just as many associated with the heart chakra as the sacral and the solar plexus chakras. So it goes like 4, 3, 3, 3. And I really like that because I did want this wand to be like very centered on love and compassion, and that's why I have this massive rose quartz point at the tip of the wand. That is the stone of my heart and my soul, and that is definitely a heart chakra stone. So moving on to the throat chakra, I think I only have 2 for this one. I have blue lace agate, and then I also have lapis lazuli. So there we go, just 2 stones for the throat chakra. And then we have the third eye chakra, which is I have amethyst associated with the third eye, I have lapis associated with the third eye, and also petrified wood. So I have 3 stones associated with the third eye chakra. And then I just have 1 stone associated with the crown chakra, and that is amethyst. And amethyst is also associated with the etheric chakra. So I'm going to go ahead and use this teal to highlight that etheric chakra. Okay, how fun is this? I'm having a blast, in case you can't tell. Oh my goodness, I'm so happy with this. It looks so good. This is exactly what I was hoping it to look like. I didn't even need my apothecary sticker book. Just that one little sticker sheet was enough, along with the highlighting and the drawing of the wand itself. It looks so good. So let me put these pages back into my grimoire. My first little spread here in my crystal section. How cute is that? I am obsessed. It looks so good, you guys. It looks so good. I'm very happy. Thank you so much for sticking around. This is probably a long one. I have 2 hours of raw, unedited footage that is definitely going to go down quite a bit because I'm going to do a voiceover. I'm going to speed things up. I've been
taking breaks, walking around. So I'm definitely not sitting down for 2 hours, although I have been here for a long time. It looks so good, you guys. I'm so happy, and I'm very happy with my wand as well. I think I'm gonna go ahead and do some spell work today, just a few simple things. I am definitely a novice, so I'm just gonna start little, play around with this, experiment, get to know her. I still don't know a name, so I'm gonna meditate on that, and hopefully the name shall come to me. And I also am gonna continue to like add things to this. I kind of want to add like a circular stone here at the top, maybe like a rose quartz circular stone, like a sphere, although that's going to be a little hard to mount. And then I also would maybe like having like something wrapped, like a string wrapped around here, and then have like some feathers dangling off of it, some charms dangling off of it. Not sure, but I'm very happy with my wand. She is a beauty, you guys. I love her. All right, everyone, thank you so much for checking out this video. I really appreciate it. Let me know if you enjoyed this video in the comments down below. Let me know if you have a wand, if you do wand work, if you do spell work. Let me know how that's going. Give your girl some tips. And with that, I would love to see you in the next video. So until then, stay safe. God bless you. Have a wonderful rest of your day. And as always, happy wand work. Bye, guys.